Yo, what is up, everybody? My name is Benny Steinhorn, co-founder of ShoeBio.com, and you are watching the ShoeBio podcast. This is episode number 2. Now, as you're noticing, there's some shoes that have replaced people in this episode. That's because my co-founder and the other guy, David, that was here, are not here, obviously. So, you stuck with me today. Now, I noticed that the mic is a little bit too far away from the mic. So we're going to keep it here, steady level. People on the listening on the radio podcast, maybe a little loud, so just turn the stereo down. But if you're in the car, if you're at home cleaning, if you're doing whatever you're doing, listen to the podcast and relax for the next, I don't know how long. But we'll see how it goes. We're flying solo. So today we're going to talk about a few things. We're going to talk about ShoeBio updates, and then talking to my cameraman right now, but he can't see it. Every time I do this, I want a little title that says what I'm going to talk about. 1, ShoeBio updates. 2, what's next for ShoeBio. And 3, we're going to talk about some shit that's happening in the sneaker world, because there's a couple of things I want to talk about that I want your guys' feedback on. So make sure when you watch this YouTube video, subscribe, comment, turn on that notification bell. I hate saying that because I know that all those YouTubers that do that say turn on your notifications, but seriously do that so you know when we're posting. This will also be on the YouTube channel on Tuesday. These come out on Monday for everybody listening on without the video. So we're gonna get right into it. If you're new to this podcast and you haven't watched the first one, probably go do that first so that you know what I'm talking about. But if not, I'll give you an update. 1. My name is Benny, and I co-founded a company called ShoeBio.com. It's essentially a sneaker search engine. So when you want to go online and find the best price on a pair of shoes, you go to ShoeBio. And we're going to search hundreds of different websites just for you, in your size, and save you money in less than a minute. I'll say that. Probably not in seconds, but in less than a minute. So some updates that we haven't told you from the last time. I feel like I'm giving a speech at the Grammys or something, and they make me hold it way too far away from my face because I want to go up here like this with the mic like a rapper, because it's too weird. I feel like a Grammy statue. That's what it is. This is the Grammy statue pose. I want to be rapper, not Grammy statue. Granny statue. Anyway, so some updates for you guys. The website looks a lot better now. If you have gone to the website and you've noticed that it's not a website, it's just a sign up for a newsletter, you're right. It's just that. For right now, though. So sign up for a newsletter if you haven't already, because we're going to come out with some super dope stuff to put in your inboxes that I think you're going to want to see. So the actual website, the UI, the UX, all that good stuff, it looks good. And we're still tweaking it, but it looks good, and you should know that. So, what's it about? Well, we've made the website better. Scraping is now faster, so you guys are going to get your results in seconds, not minutes, like I've had to have in the past happen to me. That was a lot of H's in a sentence. In the past, when I've shown people the website, it just is way too slow, but that's okay because it's faster now, and we don't have to worry about it. We don't have to worry about it. Now, everything got faster. So when you guys are able to search the website, you can find it immediately. 2, we made everything look cleaner. It's following our style guide now. We've got a wonderful looking website, wonderful looking marketing elements, and they all come together like this. Now, if you can see around me, you probably can. You're probably looking right around here. ShoeBio, that's a BOGO. We just copied that logo, but that's not actually our logo. If you go to our website or any other social media page, you'll see what our logo is and how our brand is now, which is completely changed for the better. Because before that, we didn't really have a style. We didn't really have anything. Now it's the glue of this company. So we made it look better. And I'll give you a hint about it. There's some orange in it. Okay? There's some orange in it. Now, the orange represents a couple of things. The first, I go to Oregon State. So I had to show some love to my alma mater if I ever graduate. Not doing so well right now. And secondly, statistically, I'll shout out the original firm that did our website the first time, Blooming Pixel Creators out of North Portland. I appreciate you guys. You guys helped us a lot. They told us scientifically, I looked this up too, so I think it's a fact. I think orange is scientifically the most clicked on color. If you have something in orange and it says like buy now or whatever, if it's in any other color, you're going to have less of a chance of someone clicking on it. That's why Nike is very similar orange. And I'm already making that connection now. I'm only making that connection now because I didn't make that connection before because I don't know why. But now you get why Nike's orange. Now, that was the second thing. And it originally was only on the search bar where you could put, or where it said Shoe Me, which is on our original site. If you've ever seen us pitch, if you ever do see us pitch, and we show you a demonstration video from a different website, or from our old website, we have a button, and instead of it saying Show Me, it says Shoe Me. So that button was originally this orange that I don't really have anything to show you, but it's orange now. So you get, not only does it look cool, there's scientific backing to it. So everything we do is calculated here at ShoeBio. Nothing is taken to chance. Actually, not true. Some is, obviously. It's a startup. So that's number 2. Number 3 is we're going to create some really juicy marketing materials for you guys. I know if you've seen our ShoeBio Instagram is shoe.bio if you want to go there and give us a follow. And that's also shoe_bio on Twitter. Cameraman, make sure to put those in the thing. You got it? Cool. It's just a bunch of shoes, of pictures that I've collected, that my friends have collected from our own collections. We're not taking from anybody. We're not stealing any pictures. We're not, we've given some credit to some other people, but mainly all the sneakers that we have are within the collections of the people that work for us, or work for the company, partnered with the company. But once the website is actually out, marketing is going to get a lot nicer and a lot more precise and a lot more enjoyable for you guys. I'll give you guys a sneak peek. We're going to try to break a world record. And you don't know what that world record is yet, and neither do we. But we're going to figure it out, and then we're going to break it. So stay tuned for that. Number 2, we're going to have some cool marketing stuff, like we're going to throw a bunch of fake Yeezys into a branch shredder thing, because we don't fucking tolerate fake sneakers at ShoeBio. We don't fuck with that. If I haven't told you already, we have 100% authentic sneakers and 100% authentic vendors. So, when you come here, you're getting real shoes, like these. Now, I showed these in the last video, or Mitchell did, because these are his shoes. These are not mine. If they were mine, I'd be wearing them. Now, the shoe itself is gorgeous, and I think the V1s are the best version of the Yeezy that has ever come out. I think he got it right the first time, with an exception of the 750s, but this is one of my all-time grails right here. This, shit, and the Witherspoon 97s. Now, everybody's going to say, but Benny, everybody wants that. Everybody's grail is that. Well, cool. It's mine too. Now, what they did with the Yeezy, when Adidas first released this Yeezy, everybody was super skeptical because it had just come out after the 750s, and a lot of people thought the 750s looked like Uggs, but worse. Now, was I one of those people that said that? You betcha. Now, do I not think that anymore? Of course, because they've grown on me. It's been almost about 4 or 3 years since Yeezy joined Adidas. Now, when they marketed everything, they did it very subtly, and they did it with a lot of nuance, like how they do it now. If you've ever gone to YeezySupply.com, it's super minimalistic. It's almost at times confusing and very bland, just like their house. Oh my God. Kanye's house looks like the mixture between a monastery and a museum with nothing in it. If you've ever go on YouTube, type in Vogue 73 questions with Kim Ye or whatever. They're in their house on this video, and I swear to God, there is nothing. It looks like an insane asylum. There's almost nothing in their house, and I don't get it. And then this morning, I saw the news, and they had just finished a $20 million renovation to their house. And then I went back and looked at that video and realized that was the renovation. They just spent $20 million to take everything out of their house and get sinks with no sink. They made sinks with no sink in it. I don't get that. It's just a faucet. So, let me make sure my computer's not dying on me. So, anyway, we don't tolerate fake Yeezys, and I know that these are replicated more than almost any other Yeezy just because of how simple it is. But there are a few things that you can do to notify or make sure that they aren't fake. And, you know, it's the stitching on the back, this stitching down the front. There's a whole bunch of ways to figure that out. But that's why we only have authentic sneakers and authentic vendors on our site. So you know you're having a great time. Yeah. I like these a lot. I wish I had them. Now, what I am wearing, and what you can certainly find everywhere, are these bad boys. Now, if you've ever been to college or anywhere ever, you're going to see a plenty of fuckboys wearing these shoes. Now, did I just call myself a fuckboy accidentally? Yes, I did. Is it okay? Sure. But these are the comfiest sneakers I've ever put on my feet, and I hope that you guys go get a pair. I put my mom on. I put a couple of my advisors on these. They're pretty incredible, and I super hope that you go get them because they're really comfy. And yes, I am wearing Elites. I'm wearing Elite socks like I'm in 7th grade with LeBron's logo on it with white Ultra Boosts. And you know what? It's okay, because no one can see my socks. Now let's talk about Elite socks for a second. Now, Nike, good work on marketing a sock that costs $14. It's too much. But you did it even further because there was a fad, I don't know if anybody's around this time, of double Elite socking your shoes. Or double Elite socking. You got 2 pairs of Elites. It was very popular in the basketball circuit. In Portland, it was, not high school basketball, the other thing. I don't know what it's called. I'm forgetting. But you know what I mean. Everybody that played in that wore Elite socks, and they doubled them. And I thought to myself, I did it a bunch of times because I wanted to be cool, not knowing what was going on. But why? What are you doing? You don't need 2 of the same sock on the same foot. You're just going to overheat your feet, and then you're going to be miserable the rest of the day. And I know you thought it was cool, but mismatching your socks and then doubling that mismatch, it's not cool. So that's my PSA about Elite socks. I did a PSA, the first episode about Romeo sneakers. By the way, don't trust people that wear Romeos. It's simple. Don't do it. And I tweeted that, and I got a little bit of hate on it. But you know what? It's okay. So I don't care. Now, this is my PSA. Elite socks are great because they're comfortable, but there is no need to double sock them. If you're in college, I'm a college kid. I have never seen another college kid, not even in the gym, not playing basketball, nothing, with a double pair of Elite socks on. And it really makes me happy because I'm glad that fad is over. Just like the fad with people that wore all this like LRG and like Diamond and Obey stuff. Now, don't get me wrong. Diamond's a great company, and I love the collaborations they do with Nike. Shouts out to them. But back in the day when you had LRG and Obey, remember the Obey fad? Oh my God. Okay. All 3 of those companies back in the day, all the fuckboys, every one of them would wear them. All the aspiring fuckboys, they would all wear them. And they did a really good job of marketing it to those people because their graphics, the things that they did were very loud. They were very in your face. I know Obey had this like old man face that they would use, or I don't even know what it was, but it was just this whole face that they would use as one of their main logos, and it would be everywhere on stickers that I'd see on all these poles and on hats and on sweatshirts. And I was like, I don't want to see old people everywhere I go, especially when I was in middle school. Now, that was 6 years ago. I'm getting too old. But I don't like it. I didn't like it. So I'm glad that that fad has vanished and that Diamond is still on top because they're putting credibility to their name and they're respecting themselves by doing really cool collaborations with Nike, like the Canary Dunks, the Tiffany Dunks, which is one of the most iconic colorways and iconic sneakers of all time. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. And again, we're putting some pictures up here. You guys can see it. But then they came out with the new lows. Well, they originally had the Tiffany low and then the Tiffany high, and now they did 3 new ones. They're Canary. So there's another Diamond Dunk, which is in a white, and then they had the Tiffany blue one, and then they had a Canary yellow one, which is gorgeous, and they had switchable Nike checks, which I think is a great idea. Nike, keep doing that because it's really cool and very like unique, and I like that because you can't really do that with Adidas shoes. You can't really take off 3 individual pieces and put them back on. It doesn't matter. It doesn't work. But Nike, keep doing what you're doing. So okay, so to cover my second point, I got a little sidetracked. ShoeBio in the future, we're going to be doing some juicy marketing. We're going to really be hitting at getting more websites on the platforms. You guys have more options and better prices to choose from. We're going to be at a bunch of conventions. Going to be in Portland this summer. If you know where that is, if you want to come meet me, if you want to talk about business, feel free to send me an email. It's everywhere. It'll probably be in the annotation or in this description below. Go check that out. And when I say description below, I'm probably talking about YouTube, but SoundCloud might have one too, so check there as well. I've already plugged my Instagram. I plugged the ShoeBio Instagram. My real Instagram is the Shuru, TheShuru. It's right there again, probably. Putting some work on this one, a lot of edits. But essentially, we're going to be sending you some juicy content, and it's going to be really great, but we just want you guys to be able to save money and have a good time doing it. So that's the future of ShoeBio, and get ready for it. Now, on to point number 3. Some new news in the sneaker world. 1, Earth Day was yesterday? Earth Day? Yes. Earth Day was yesterday or the day before. I don't know. But it was great because Nike, shouts out to Nike on their Earth Day collab, those Air Force Ones are dope. That's the kind of innovation we want. I don't want so many Jordan 1s. I don't want Jordan 1 lows. I don't want you to keep repeating stupid colorways that are going to sit on shelves for months. For the last 3 years, all I've seen are general release Nikes, with the exception of the Off-White series, which is a whole other beast to take care of. It includes a lot of L's, but we all know this. But the original Nike general releases are just sitting on shelves now. They're just sitting there in Foot Lockers, in any other retail store you can find them. They're going to be sitting there. And really, only the rarest of collabs are going to sell out. And it kind of sucks because you could tell that sometimes the quality is not there. You can tell sometimes the materials aren't there. It's just not working out, and consumers are showing it. That's why I think the Ultra Boost fad is a little bit ending. It's certainly not for me because I love them, but for a majority of people, they're saying that the Ultra Boost is kind of trailing off. But when you look at Nike React and the new shit that they're doing, the 87s and now the Presto Reacts, which hideous. No. Okay? Looks like a frog. Don't do that. But them separately, love them. Together, no. Now, Foamposites are still trying to make a comeback, and they won't because no one likes them anymore except for me and some other select people. Foamposites are dope. You just got to stop taking so many colorways and re-releasing them, remastering them, or bogus colorways. Like, your all-star releases have been great. You got the albacore thing. You got, like, neon thing. Yeah, and, a neon thing. When the all-star, when they made the 6s and the 1s with, like, the cool color, like, green, blackish color, I thought those were really dope. And I think that the old colors, like the pinks, the Fighter Jets, dude. The Fighter Jets are one of my all-time favorite sneakers. There's going to be a picture. Fighter Jets are incredible. They've got... It's like this on a sneaker, but even better than this camo. It's incredible. I love that. Now, it's a great colorway. That's something I wouldn't mind being re-released, because the last time it came out was probably a decade ago. Correct me, I don't know exactly if it's a decade, but it's somewhere a while ago. So I think that the colors that they're bringing out just aren't hitting like they used to. And it may be because the colors are too out there. I know that some of the best ones are like the pennies, the original navy, or, light blues. Oh, interrupting. Let me just turn that off. Oops. So yeah, it's, the colorways aren't there anymore. And this is the same thing for a lot of different silhouettes that just get colorway after colorway after colorway. One second here, All right, and we're back. Hello. We'll probably cut that out, but sorry, we got a call. But anyway, back to it. Like I was saying, a lot of the silhouettes that Nike is bringing out right now, all of the ones that they make a bunch of colorways for, they're gonna slow that down. It's the same thing as any number of examples from other industries. The more you make more colorways, Supreme does a great job of this. It's a supply and demand. People shit themselves over Supreme. Yet, Supreme drops once a week for fall, spring, winter, summer. You know what I mean. But they have a supply and demand. They have a very small amount of whatever they sell, and it always sells out. Nike and Adidas maybe could learn a thing or two. Make less releases of colorways, but make the colorways more meaningful, put more effort into those colorways, and then release them. And people are going to eat that shit up because you're creating hype, you're creating anticipation for it. But when you constantly are releasing garbage colorway after garbage colorway, they are all going to sit, and you can't do anything about it. You got to slow your roll. You got Nike, you got too much dip on your chip right now. And a little bit with Adidas. You got a little bit too much guac on that chip. So slow it down. And the best thing, and the whole reason I'm talking about this is because the Air Force Ones, the Earth Day Air Force Ones with the recycling, that shit is what people like because it is meaningful. You put effort in. Put a picture of the Air Force Ones up here, but they look really cool. The box is really cool. It's got like the recycling sign on it, and it looks like it's kind of worn down, which I think is a super nice touch. The shoe itself has like a Mr. Globey on it, like the globe from what is it? The Globetrotters, I think, the mascot Globey. It looks like him, but it's like really green. And I think on one side they got the recycling thing on it. And they also released it, I think, in a high and in a different pair. But the low white Air Force Ones with that on it is so clean and well done. Nike, bravo to you. But that does not excuse your garbage colorways for a lot of silhouettes. Jordan 1s. With an exception, Jordan 4s. Not Jordans anymore. Nike Element Reacts, Air Max 270s, maybe Air Max 720s, but I'm going to let it slide because I like that shoe and I think it's fucking cool. You got to stop making garbage colorways. But I will give you props for hydro dipping because that shit is cool. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, go onto Google, type in hydro dipping, and look at the videos because they're awesome. Essentially, Nike found a way to make a colorway float on top of water in like in a liquid form. You take a shoe like this, right? You put, maybe if you don't want it on the midsole, you put tape around it. You dip it in, you shake it around, and when it comes back up, the colorway that you put on the bottom in the water is now on the shoe. And I think it's super creative and dope, and it's a great way to make one-of-ones. It's a great way to do it at home. I saw Jeff Staple do it with a pair of 720s. That looks super cool. We'll probably put a picture of that up there as well. And also a guy named He's Kicks on Instagram. He's from Portland. He lives in Beaverton. He's a great guy. he does it with a lot of his own shoots because you could do it at home, which I think is super cool. They give you kits where you can do it. You basically just take big plastic tub and you put it in, and that's it. And so I'm going to be doing one for my birthday. I think I'm going to do it with these because that would be super cool and unique. Now, with all that being said, there is a lot to be said about the way that Nike, the way that they handled the Off-White situation. So, obviously, Off-White finished with, I think the last releases they had were, I think it was some SP Airflies or something like that. It was all pink. There's a couple other ones. I'm blanking on them. There was the desert. There's the desert and black Air Max 1s or Air Max 90s, which I thought were pretty cool. But then Nike said, we're not doing them anymore. And everybody was like, okay, well, on to the next hype. But what Off-White did was pretty much eliminate any need for Nike to do any sort of creative, take a creative retreat with all the designers and go find something and make it cool. Off-White, I can't get around. Obviously, it's a hype, and I'm a hype beast. I'm wearing Pharrell fucking sweatpants right now, and that's okay. But Off-White's price, the pricing, and what you're getting does not make sense. I get it. Some of the things are very creative, and it's more meant to be an art piece that you wear than, something. It's an art piece. It has sympathetic. It has a lot of value to it. But some of the stuff I do not understand, and I also don't get why you put everything in quotation marks. Some things cool, like the Air Max, the Air Jordan ones, the original ones, the Chicago ones. He put Air on the side with the little quotation marks, and he sent it to his friends. That's dope. I think that's cool. But they're overplaying it, especially with the new Spring/Summer 19 collection. I don't get it. I don't know why you need to incorporate quotes. I get it's your theme, but it's a little bit too much. Now, in December, I saw the lineup for the new Air Force Ones. Oh, okay. They're pretty cool. I'll give you that. But it's not creative enough. I want to see creativity like how, damn it, the guy from Adidas that made the Panda shoes, the ones with the wings, Jeremy Scott. Dude, Jeremy Scott did such a good job with the collaborations he did with Nike or Adidas back in the day. I didn't give a fuck what shoe it was. I don't care what shoe it is. If Jeremy Scott made it, it's immediately cool. And I think it's super dope that they did that. That's the kind of creativity I want to see at Nike. I want to be able to see a Jeremy Scott level of creativity because Virgil is not on Jeremy Scott's level. Even with his own Off-White shoes, they're basically Vans and high-top Vans. And then some more Vans and other high-top Vans, but with the Off-White branding on it. And it's not good enough. But Jeremy Scott took it to such an extreme, it got him respect, and people love those shoes. The money teddy bears, I need them. I don't know where they came from, but I need them. Even simple collaborations like Big Sean and 2 Chainz before he went to Versace, which those are fucking cool too. Not because they're 2 Chainz, because they're Versace. They just did really good jobs on their shoes. The quality was on point, the way that it looked, the colorways, it was all there. And I feel like that's where Nike is lacking right now, is because their collaborations, while they have a lot of really cool ones like the Sachiko, I don't know if you say it right, the waffles, that's the kind of shit I like to see. The double swoosh, the double midsole, those are so cool. And that's more of what you should be doing instead of off-whiting it, because that's kind of taking the easy route and you know it's going to sell out every time. But when you get to the Air Jordan or the Jeremy Scott levels of creativity, that's where I like to see that's what I like to see. So when I saw that there's a new collection out, I thought like, all right, well, Nike's like starting to give up. I know that they have a lot more stuff in store, but I feel like it's just like it's not cutting it for what it needs to be in this day and age. The same thing with video games. If you ever game, there's a lot of video games that are more pay to play, pay to win, like the whole Star Wars Battlefront 2 thing. It's very similar to that because you got companies that are just taking the easy route. All right, we can make a lot of money. We know we can make a lot of money. Let's just do that. Instead of really thinking about the customer, about the consumer, and making it about them, letting them choose it. That's why in the 90s and in the early 2000s, Jordans were, or even a little bit later than that, that's where Jordans were coveted because Nike knew that they did not need to make a whole bunch of shoes and that they could take the time with each Jordan colorway, each Jordan silhouette. After 14, I don't know what happened, but before 14, it looks great. Okay? So I think that the Sachiko thing is going to go really well, but right now the price is way too high. Don't spend $900 on a pair of those high-top blazers. You don't need to. I'm sure the price will go down. If it goes up, don't take my word for it. But they're pretty cool. And that's the kind of shit we're looking for, even though those shoes were only seen on runways because it was part of their runway collection, which then goes back to the wearing a piece of art, which is cool. And I'm glad Nike's taken that initiative. But the Off-Whites are just losing their glamour. It's cool you put a zip tie on a pair of shoes, but I don't get it. I'm sure some people, let me know what you think about that in the comments, but that's kind of what I think about the whole Off-White versus all their other collaborations. Supreme still does a good job at that too. They do collaborations with artists that I have never seen before, I've never heard about, but they also do it with really big ones. Like a couple weeks ago, I know they did like Hellraiser and the Punisher. They did one with the Raiders. But then they do it with a bunch of other really small artists, and I think it's really cool that they do that and they include everyone. And I know that Nike's trying to do that, but I think that to really make it shine, Nike needs to let them have a little bit more creativity about what they can, what they're making, and especially the price point, because that's the biggest thing for me is why I don't really spend any money on Nikes anymore. Is shit's too expense, too much expense, and that's why ShoeBio's here, because then I don't have to worry about that. And you guys won't have to either. But I just think it's not where it needs to be right now. And those are my thoughts on kind of the design aspect of this industry. I think everybody's kind of trying to do too much. And I think do too much in terms of expecting to know what the consumers want. Time after time, consumers have clearly stated what they want and what they're looking for. Nike, when you do girl colorways, only when you do girl exclusive colorways, that shit's fire. Start thinking like that on the men's side as well. Because too many times there have been grade school and women's only releases that are gorgeous that are not higher than like a size 9 or 8. And I hate that because most of those colorways are really good and well thought out. Some of them, like the 12s with the pink and the black, it's not cutting it. But these new 12s with like the reptile skin, the blue, the black and gold, it's gorgeous. And you're doing a great job at that. So given all of this criticism and all of this shit that I'm talking about, there's comes a point where you got to draw a line. And I'm going to draw the line right now. This is where I'm drawing the line, right here. Now, on this side of the line, we're just chilling. Having a good time. We're talking about Nike. It's all good. On the other side of the line is the hostility and the criticism that I give. So we're going to take a step back to this side of the line where we're just chilling and talking. So, ShoeBio is headed to New Orleans this weekend. So when you see this, we'll be there when you hear this and see this. The day you see this, we will actually be pitching, so keep your fingers crossed for that while you're listening to this or watching it. And so we're going to go to New Orleans, and we're going to kick ass, and we're going to pitch, and we're also going to go to the Jazz Festival because I heard it's a wonderful rockin' time, and I've never been down there, so super excited to go. Some more content's coming out soon. We got some Instagram posts scheduled, some Twitter stuff. David, who was here last week, who was sitting right here, has been doing a really good job of keeping track of the social media, making sure it's all working. But the most important thing is that the website is coming soon, and it's coming to your browser, and it's going to be great because you're going to love the prices of these sneakers, and you'll be amazed at how much you'll save. So, with that, I'm going to end this podcast because I'm super tired. I got to drive back up to Portland. So, I hope you guys have a great day. Make sure to subscribe to make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow the SoundCloud, make sure to follow all of our juicy social medias, which will all be down below in either the description of SoundCloud or YouTube. And stay tuned for more content. We'll have an episode 3 up next week. So stay tuned for that as well. And make sure to follow us on everything. So take control of your soul. Stay happy. Stay positive. I'll catch you guys on the next episode. Peace out.